I'm not cranky. I just ran out of patience sometime in like 2020.
And I'm not yelling. This is just how I talk when people keep asking me stupid questions.
This is Jim, and his tolerance for BS is even lower than his resting heart rate.
And that's Tav. She's not angry. She's just allergic to small talk and bad drivers.
And together, we're Unretired AF. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Unretired AF podcast. And today we're going to be talking about, I'm not cranky, you're just annoying. But before we get into that, we just want to give a quick shout out to our subscribers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you. And if you're visiting us for the first time, welcome. And if you've come back because you liked our show, please consider hitting that subscribe button. All right. So today we're going to be talking about, we're not cranky. You're just annoying. Not you, of course, but so many people out there. So let us set the scene. Are we cranky? Honestly, not really cranky. We're selective. We're honest. We are done sugarcoating stuff. I think at this stage of life, we don't have to do that stuff anymore. So we're just more real.
Yeah. For our whole life, the world expects us to what? To be polite, to be quiet, to be agreeable. Do you always want to be agreeable? I don't.
No.
Even when people are acting like fools. I don't like fools. I don't have time for fools.
We do not suffer fools.
No.
We do not suffer fools. Well, and we don't need to explain ourselves to anybody. We don't need to explain our standards. We don't need to explain why we have opinions. We don't need to explain if we're silent about something.
Right.
We don't owe anybody anything.
That's right. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've been told, you're getting so angry when you get old. Well, no, I'm not. I'm getting truthful.
Right. They don't like it.
Aging doesn't make you more angry.
Right.
You guys know it, and so do we. But what it does, it helps you remove your filter, and I like that.
Well, exactly.
I like
because
that.
You know what? There's no reason to be filtered. I mean, obviously in the workplace, we've all had to filter a little bit, or around our in-laws, we've had to filter. But generally, we get to this age in life, we don't have to filter.
Right.
Being filtered is a bad thing.
Right.
All right. Well, things that actually are annoying, because there are some annoying things in this world. One of those things are loud public phone talkers. Isn't that so irritating?
It is.
You go to a restaurant and you can hear someone's whole conversation. They don't have the courtesy to take it outside.
Well, yeah. Excuse me, but no offense, but doesn't that just irk you, man?
Because you know what's coming. An offense.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a big one.
Because it's bullshit. Why do people say that? No offense, but wait, let me prepare myself because you're about to attack me.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
And I don't care that you don't like my black socks with my slippers or whatever, Well, I would never do that.
But I would care.
There's always, the no offense is just, you're fixing to get hit with something.
Well, you know what? It's just rude.
It is.
It's people who don't know how to be tactful.
Right.
And they just say things that are hurtful because it's easy to say hurtful things. It takes a lot more effort.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Am I boring you?
No offense, but
it takes a lot more effort to say something in a nice way. And know when people care about you when they make that effort.
Right.
When they don't make that effort, they don't care. And so, rip that filter off and
agree.
Let them have it straight.
I agree.
I mean, another thing that just chaps my ass is group texts. Have you gotten a text that was a group text and you didn't realize it? You thought the person who sent it was a text just from them to you, and you answer back maybe something you didn't want the whole group to see?
Yeah.
I hate group texts.
That is.
That's almost as bad as people talking to you on speakerphone and not telling you.
Right.
So it's rude.
So I just went through a situation where I visited a friend in the hospital, and I probably visited him 5 times. Don't you just hate it if you go to a hospital and the nurses are always rude? They could give a crap about...
They're either one way or the other. They're either super nice
Right.
and helpful, or they are like, why are you even working
Right.
around human beings? You would
won't,
obviously
won't
hate
give you
them.
the time of the day to help you.
Right.
I know.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. And another one, people who are rude to servers.
Yeah.
That tells me everything I need to know about a person. If they're rude to people who are serving them, it can be servers, it can be like you go to a hotel and bellhops and reservationists
Right.
or people at the front desk at a hotel or
Right.
wherever. When you're dealing with people in the service industry and someone's rude to them, that tells me all I need to know about that person, especially if it's like a client and you're like at
Yeah.
a client lunch and you see how they're acting,
Right.
you know right away that they're not somebody that you want to.
That's when you
probably
say,
work with.
I'll pick up the tip.
Yeah, right, exactly, because you know they're going to be a shitty tipper.
Right.
No, 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 no.
Another thing that really irritates me is people that don't use common courtesy.
Right.
And
I mean, it's gone now a lot of times.
Pardon?
It's just gone in
It
society
is.
a lot of times.
It is.
And not just from young people. I see older people too,
Yeah.
like our neighbor.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care. And he's old.
No
older than we
offense,
are.
but he is one.
No offense, but I wouldn't even say no offense, but I don't even care. He's an asshole. You know he's an asshole.
Say good morning to somebody. Say hello. Open a door for somebody.
Right.
Ask them if they need help getting something off a shelf.
Right.
It doesn't take any more effort to be nice.
No, exactly. Or just give people the benefit of the doubt and don't go off on them. And we all have our problem areas. For me, it's driving. People drive me freaking crazy. People that all of a sudden decide that they're going to cross 3 lanes of traffic because they came to their exit and they're going to take the risk of killing someone so they don't have to go an extra mile to get off and backtrack. That kind of stuff. People who are unsafe on
Right.
the road, that really makes me crazy.
Right.
But-
Yeah, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, but
And
I
it's
think
dangerous.
but I'm trying not to let people bother me because I think that's something we have to recognize too. If people do annoy us, there's a certain amount of accountability on our part
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
not be annoyed
Exactly.
or to not
Exactly.
give them too much.
Right.
We
Because
don't
if
want
you
them,
do, you've given them the power.
we don't want them to. Yeah, exactly. We don't want them to ruin our day. Well. When we are cranky for good reason, at least what we think are good reason. I think for me, when I'm the most cranky is if I get up in the morning and there's no coffee or until I make it and really settle in. I'm not one of those bright and cheery people in the morning like Jim is. He wakes up and he's like a little bird chirping, happy for the day. Well, you are. You're like in a good mood. You're a morning person.
I am.
I'm not a morning person. Mornings are an effort for me. And so I don't want to talk to anybody, really, including Jim, until I've had coffee.
Yeah.
So that's when I can be a little cranky.
Yeah. For me, it's, there's nothing worse. If I get up early and go to the office, or if I'm going to work at home and you have slow Wi-Fi, whether it's on your phone or on your computer, or even something's going on with the TV and you can't stream your favorite YouTube show that you want to. We've grown so accustomed to good, strong connections that it's very irritating to me when I don't have one.
You know what another irritating thing to Jim is? I'm gonna out you on this irritation that you have. Jim, I don't know, maybe it's a man thing. Write us in the comments and let us know if this is a man thing. He gets so irritated on the price of gasoline.
Absolutely, I
He
do.
gets so irritated. I think for me as a woman, when it's like $4.80 during the Obama years, I was griping a little bit. But when it's $3.20 versus $3.23, I'm not gonna drive out of my way for cheaper fuel for
hell yeah.
3 cents a gallon. That must be a guy thing because I know a lot of guys.
Friends, GasBuddy.com is your friend.
Gas Buddy. We're in the car going somewhere, and we're coming up to a town where we have to get fuel. And Jim's like, "Oh, you have to get on Gas Buddy, and you have to see who has the cheapest fuel." I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, can't we just go to the place we always go to?" But no, if it's 3 cents cheaper, we will be going to the other place, and that's fine. I have my things. I'm sure you look at me like, what the hell is going on with her?
A few things.
Like what? Can you think of anything?
Nothing. Nothing.
All right. And we highlighted for me, I mean, the bad drivers. I don't think we need to go over that again. I think the bad drivers make me cranky. And honestly, we live, as we've told you in the past, if you're a regular here, we live in Arizona, and this time of year I can get a little cranky because it's unpleasant.
It is unpleasant. What the most aggravating thing to me, whether that's driving or in the workplace or at the store, are dumbasses. Yeah. I do not get along good with dumbasses.
Right.
I don't. And I think I'm getting less tolerant the older I get.
I don't get along with them either.
That's because you don't hardly ever go out anymore.
That's not true.
Okay, you're right.
Well, I think the takeaway from this episode has to be that we're really not cranky. I mean, there's a few things that will set us off, but honestly, in our day, that's a very, very small percentage of those things. And I think that we just, like Jim said earlier, just our filter's gone by choice. Sometimes I don't know if it's by choice. Sometimes I just think that we just have had enough.
Yeah.
We've just, we've had enough, and we just want to say it. And I think, that can pertain to, because we used to have to, when we worked for other people, zip it and, deal with it. And now we don't have to do that anymore.
Right.
And I think, with family, with our kids, we can just say the truth in a kind way. We don't have to be an asshole about it.
Yeah. And I think with both of us, and I don't know if you all feel this way, honesty, and I mean true honesty from someone, is much more important than being liked, to me.
Well, it's much. I don't care about being liked. I would rather be respected for being truthful than be liked.
Yeah. But
because,
I mean, there's certain people that I want to like me because I like them.
Yeah, but you're not going to kiss their ass to get them to like you.
No.
Are you?
No.
I mean, I think, and I think part of it too is when we are just living a more authentic life, we just attract a different kind of people to us too. So
I agree.
That's something to consider too.
So I know that you all have comments about the subject.
Yes. What annoys you?
What does annoy you? Drop it in our comments.
Yeah.
Let's see how many of your quirks are our quirks.
We would love to hear, and we might even make a follow-up episode on this with your comments. That would be awesome.
There you go.
Well, and if you've enjoyed our show today and you would like to see more of us in your feed, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. We are a new channel and we're just trying to get off the ground. This is our 8th week. And every little subscribe and every like really helps, much more than if we were a big channel or whatever. Yeah. So you guys really matter to us, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Well, we're not slowing down.
And neither should you. And
together, we're Unretired AF.